So David and I had a conversation the other night about houses.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for different kinds of things have to be learned in different ways. And there's, uh, if you want a house, you might think, okay, a house is expensive, and basically it's pretty obvious how you make a house. There's some 2x4s you nail together into a frame, which is the walls, and you run the plumbing and the electrical stuff through the holes in the walls, and then you nail sheetrock to it and you paint it, and you have a house. So you could think, okay, I can do that. And you go to Home Depot and you get some 2x4s and sheetrock and cans of paint, and you nail the thing together. And the first time it rains, the whole thing leaks, and sheetrock, when it gets wet, it expands and cracks, and you don't have a house after all. I very much like to do things myself and figure them out myself. There's some things you can't figure out yourself. Building a house is one. You can't become a research chemist by reading books and finding stuff on the internet. You actually need to go to a university, go into a PhD program in chemistry, and they know how to teach you to be a chemist. Vajrayana is something that it's very tempting to think, okay, I basically understand this. I can figure it out myself. I'll read some books. There's some cool forums on the internet. That doesn't work in the same way that try to build a house yourself doesn't work, because there's an enormous amount of specific knowledge, a lot of which is not articulable. The only way to learn to build houses is to become an apprentice of someone who knows how to build houses, and you work with them. And partly they tell you what to do, but also when you screw up or something is off, like they say, hey, that 2x4 that you nailed in there, that's twisted. That's not going to work. We could take it out and straighten the 2x4, but actually there's a way we can work around it, and here's what to do. That kind of knowledge of practicalities of dealing with things as they come up is something that you won't get from a book on house building. Similarly, in Vajrayana, really the only way to do it is to work with somebody who has decades of experience. And there's room to innovate within the framework and to try to do things your way, and that's feasible, but primarily you are going to have to rely on a teacher.